There are a number of fascinating aspects of the dialogue that the Torah describes at the beginning of Parshas Chayei Sara between Ephron Achiti and Avram Avinu. One of the salient aspects is with reference to the pasuk V'hakesef Yanes Hakol, the role of money. The Torah tells us at the beginning of the dialogue that Ephron Achiti essentially offers Avram Avinu and essentially offers him a matana. The Torah says, Shma'enu Adoni, Nesi Elokim Atam B'Sochenu, B'mivchar Kvareinu Kvaras Meisecha. Choose any of the burial plots that are here. No one is going to stop you. And at the end of the Pasha, the Torah tells us almost something which is antithetical to this initial offer. Namely, Vayan Ephron as Avram Leimor, Adoni Shma'ini, Eretz, Arbamio Shekel Kesef Beini Uven Chomahi, the astronomical sum, as Rashi, quoting Divrei Chazal, points out that Avram Avinu literally gave him Shkolim Gedolim, Shem Miskablim B'chol Makom. In other words, we have quite a marked distinction between the initial offer that was gratis to what the Torah describes at the end, Shkolim Gedolim Shem Miskablim B'chol Makom. Chazal comment on this in the Medrash. The Medrash says, based on the pasuk in Mishlei, where Shlomo HaMelech says in the 28th chapter, Nival lahon ish rea oyin v'lo yeda ki cheser yivo'enu. Nival lahon ish rea oyin refers to Ephron, that he was apparently nivhal lahon. He had a greed for money, for kesef. And he didn't realize ki cheser yivo'enu. What did it cost him? Above. In the entire Parsha, Ephron was written Malay, Ayin Pei Reish Vav Nun, and at the end of the Parsha, Ephron was written Chaser without a Vav. What kind of a punishment is that the Torah has eliminated the Vav from Ephron at the end of the Parsha? Why should he care? The answer, of course, is that an extra letter in the Torah, or B'chlal, every letter in the Torah, is not just simply some ink, if you will, of the Sofer, but rather, as Chazal tell us, in every os of the Torah, there are remazin tilei tilim shel halachas. There are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of halachas that are ramos. There are spiritual worlds that are embedded in every single letter of the Torah. So Ramban writes in the Akdama to Sefer Bereshis, the entire Torah essentially represents the Shemos of Hashem Yisbarach, and there's Kedusha, and only if every single letter is in place. And when one letter is missing from the Shem of Ephron, which is the letter over here at the end, that's an indication that Ephron, as a result of his behavior, was mafsid olamos. He actually lost out on many worlds. And not only did Ephron lose out on a parsha, on, if you will, one os, but rather on an entire parsha, that could have been written, which would have described his philanthropic spirit, his generosity of heart, the matan that he promised Avram Avinu. And at the end, the Torah tells us that Ephron preferred money. He had an avarice. He had a greed. He was lo tachar kesef. And that's what the Torah mentions with the Ephron spelled without above at the end of the Pasha. In sharp contrast to Ephron, of course, is the personality of Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu, we see the very opposite. Avram Avinu, number one, refuses to accept Marsa Machpelah as a matano. Even for Melech Sdom, Avram Avinu also refuses to accept matanos. Harimosi Yadi al Hashem Kel Elyon Kodesh Shemayim Ba'aretz Im Yichut V'Yatzroch Nal, even a shoelace. V'lo Somar Ani Hasharti Es Avram. Avram Avinu is not going to accept matanos. He's not going to do so. And the reason is because Avram is Kulo Chesed. Avram's entire personality is Kol Kulo Chesed Nesino L'Acherim. And that's why Avram Avinu is extremely careful to distance himself from any kind of netilah la'atzmo. This is the yesod that Rav Dessler Zatzal writes in Michtam Eliyahu in the Kuchas HaChesed. A Jew has to be a nosei, has to be someone who gives. A Jew has to be someone who is Mali Chesed, not just Chesed at a fundamental level, but Chesed b'hispashtus. Chesed actually writ large over his entire personality. Chesed is the quality that's emblazoned on the very essence of what a Jew is all about. Rachmanim, Bashanim, Gomi Chasanim, these are the Simanim U'mazu. And that's why we understand now this particular parsha is juxtaposed to the mission that Avram Avinu sent Eliezer. A mission to find a wife for Yitzchak, but there was one quality that Eliezer sought out, and that's the quality, that's the quintessence, the very mahus of what Avram Avinu and Klal Yisrael are all about, the quality of chesed. And that's the quality we notice that Rivka has, and this of course is in sharp contrast to the personality of Ephron that the Torah mentions in the beginning of the parsha. Halavai, we all should be zocheh to exemplify that quality of chesed, to nurture it, to cultivate it, to develop it to the fullest extent, and thereby be worthy of being the Bnei Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov.